In this video, we're going to be talking about the Canary Islands in Spain, an absolute hidden gem in Europe that's basically a tax paradise for companies and people looking to save big. Now, I know Spain sounds like tax hell, but the Canary Islands is the one exception to that. We talk in other videos a lot about how Latinos have a 2-year path to citizenship in Spain. And maybe if you're a high net worth person on that 2-year path to citizenship in Spain, you're thinking, well, where can I live in Spain while still maybe protecting my wealth and my business? And the Canary Islands might just be that option. If you've heard whispers about crazy low taxes in the Canary Islands, like a 4% corporate tax or a 7% VAT tax, you're in the right place. In this video, we're breaking down the tax benefits, how they came to be, and why everyone from tech startups to digital nomads is eyeing this place. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button. By the way, hit the like button. Let me know that this video, this idea is interesting to you. But let's dive in. So, what makes the Canary Islands such a tax haven? So there's two big systems at play here. There's the Canary Islands Special Economic Zone, or the ZEC, and the Economic and Fiscal Regime, known as the REF. These aren't shady offshore tricks. They're legit EU-approved setups designed to turbocharge the island's economy. Remember, this island is way off the coast of Africa. It's quite far from mainland continental Europe, so it makes sense they would have some incentives in place to make people live there and start businesses there and so forth. So let's start with the businesses, because the ZEC is where things get wild. So picture this. You set up a company in the Canaries, and your corporate tax rate drops to just 4%. That's not a typo. 4%. In mainland Spain, it's 25%. And the EU average hovers around 21%. So that's a massive saving, especially if you're pulling in decent profits. The ZEC kicked off in 2000 when the European Commission greenlit it under Spain's Law 19-94. The goal is to boost the island's social and economic growth, diversify beyond tourism, and create jobs. And it's been a hit. Since 2008, companies and wealthy folks there have saved an estimated 5 billion euros in taxes. Now, to get that 4% rate, as you can imagine, you've got to jump through a few hoops. Why can't I say that today? So you got to set up a new company or branch in the Canaries. You need to invest at least 100,000 euros in assets, like equipment or property. In the bigger islands, it's 100K in Tenerife or in Gran Canaria. Or it could be 50,000 euros in the smaller islands like La Gomera. Because again, the Canary Islands, it's a bunch of islands. Plus, you need to create jobs. 5 in the big islands, 3 in the smaller ones, within the first 6 months. And also, someone on your board has to live there on the Canary Islands. So it's not a free ride, but for the right business, it's a gold mine. Again, spin up a business, invest 50K or 100K, and hire 3 or 5 people. So what's the catch? The 4% rate applies to a tax base of 1.8 million euros. Anything over that gets taxed at Spain's 25%. But if you hire more than 50 people, that cap disappears and it's 4% across the board. Plus, there's no withholding tax on dividends sent to parent companies outside Spain. And you're exempt from property transfer taxes and stamp duties if you're buying assets for your ZEC business. That's huge for startups, exporters, even film companies. There's extra incentives, by the way, for audiovisual stuff. Imagine slashing your tax bill by 80% compared to the European norm while running your operation from volcanic paradise. That's the ZEC vibe. And by the way, the Canary Islands is absolute paradise, perfect weather, year-round. I mean, your board members are going to want to live here. But it's not just about companies. The REF, which I mentioned earlier, sweetens the deal for businesses and individuals alike. This system's roots go all the way back to 1852, when Spain first gave the Canaries tax breaks to offset their remote location, 700 miles from the mainland off Africa's coast. Fast forward to 1991, and the REF got a modern overhaul with tweaks in 1994 and in 2000. One standout perk is there's no VAT. Instead, they've got the IGIC, which is the Canary Islands General Indirect Tax, at just 7% for most goods versus Spain's 21%. That's a 14% discount on everything from groceries to gear. Luxury stuff might hit 15%, but high-tech and IT goods often dodge IGIC entirely, making it a dream for e-commerce or dropshipping. Then there's the Reserve for Investments, or RIC. Pure genius for businesses or even self-employed folks. If you've got a company or a permanent gig in the Canaries, you can sock away up to 90% of your undistributed profits tax-free. The deal is you reinvest that cash into assets like new equipment or real estate within 5 years. It's like a forced savings plan that cuts your taxable income to almost nothing while keeping your business growing. Since 2008, this has helped firms save billions. And it's open to non-residents too, as long as they've got a base there. It's a slick way to build wealth without the taxman taking a chunk. For individuals, the Canaries are just as tempting. If you're a freelancer, digital nomad, or just someone tired of the snow, listen up. Spend 183 days a year there, half the year, and you're a tax resident. That means no wealth tax reporting on foreign assets, which Spain's mainland loves to slap on you. Capital gains taxes are lighter here too, so it's 19% to 28% depending on your haul, versus steeper rates elsewhere. There's chatter about the Beckham law applying to a flat 24% income tax for new residents on their first 600,000 euros of income for 5 years. It's trickier to snag in the Canaries than mainland Spain, but if you qualify, it's a steal compared to Spain's top personal income tax rate of 47% on incomes over 300,000 euros. So how'd this all start? The Canaries have always been a special case. Far from Europe, historically leaning on tourism and fishing. In the 90s, Spain and the EU saw a chance to turn that remoteness into an asset. The REF laid the groundwork and the ZEC turbocharged it. Unlike the US's old EB-5 program, the Canary system is tight. You've got to actually contribute, jobs, investment, real activity, not just park cash. That's why places like Tenerife are buzzing with tech hubs, call centers, and remote workers, not just sunbathers. So what's it mean for you? If you're a company, that 4% ZEC rate could flip your profit margins. Say you're in software, logistics, or even wellness, set up shop, hire a handful of locals, and watch your tax bill shrink. Freelancers and solopreneurs get the IGIC break, RIC too if you're savvy, and a lifestyle that's 75 degrees year-round, no shoveling snow, just surfing. I actually heard from an Italian founder friend who said that moving there was his best financial move ever. Since 2008, the tax savings have been real. I mean, 5 billion euros is not a lie. And it's not just hype. Posts on X are buzzing about it. Freelancers are calling it a paradise for taxes and vibes. By the way, you got to follow MyLatinLife on X, on Twitter. It's at MyLatinLife. We're really, really active there. There's a flip side, though. The ZEC is not for everyone. You need real operations, not a mailbox. That 183-day rule for residency means committing half your year. And the Beckham Law is a long shot. Some grumble it's elitist, favoring rich entrepreneurs over regular folks. Fair, but the island's economy is booming because of it. Jobs, growth, diversification. And the EU's cool with it. The ZEC is locked in through 2032 per recent extension. So this has runway. So if you're intrigued, start digging, check the ZEC rules, crunch the numbers. Companies need authorization from the ZEC consortium, a solid plan, and some upfront cash. Individuals just need to pack a laptop and stay 6 months. It's not a secret anymore. Digital nomads, startups, and even big players are catching on. Will it last forever? Maybe not, but right now it's one of the best tax deals in Europe. That's the scoop on the Canary Islands tax benefits for people and companies. If you want to implement this for yourself, you probably have some questions. There's a link in the description where you can book a call with us with MyLatinLife, and we can take a look at your holistic situation. We can answer any question you have about the Canary Islands, about Spain, visas, residency in Europe, and also compare this to some other options you might have and some other options you might have not have even thought about before. I mean, we cover all of Latin America and Southern Europe at MyLatinLife, and you can become our client by booking a call. Also, hit that like button, share it with your crew, and subscribe for more. Hit the bell too. You don't want to miss a video. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next video.